Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports NFL Week 10 picks and predictions. We're looking at the best bets of the week. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, we are going to recap the previous week's results. Overall, we go 5-4. So I'm going to talk about these games real quick, and then we'll get on to the Week 10 picks and predictions. First game we had, it was Jets Thursday Night Football minus 115 on the money line versus the Texans. That was a winner. It got kind of interesting when the one dude dropped the ball on the half-yard line because he's an idiot, but they won the game, so it doesn't really matter. We had the Falcons minus 2.5 versus the Cowboys. They win the game by 5 or 6. Kind of forget which one it was, but we take those. Cowboys not good. Dak Prescott, I don't know why they paid him a ton of money. He sucks. With the over 44.5 in the Ravens and the who did they play? They played the Broncos. The Broncos they played. I think the Ravens covered this number. No, they did not cover it by themselves. Final score is 41-10, so 51 points scored. That was pretty easy. With the Cardinals minus 115 on the money line at home against the Bears. The Bears are slowly becoming awful. They've now lost 2 games in a row. Cardinals win 29-9. Then we had the Lions minus 4 at Green Bay. That was free money. They win at 24-14. Lions move to 7-1 on the season. Our losers, the Browns +2. Jameis Winston throws 3 interceptions. The Browns allow 2 touchdowns over 40 yards. You're not going to win a football game doing that. Final score was 27-10. With the over 37.5 in the Patriots versus the Titans game, this was a bad beat. Went into overtime. Final score was 20-17. We missed by the hook. Then we had the over 46.5 in the Green Bay Packers and Lions game. This one's kind of a bad beat. There was really bad weather at the beginning of this game and towards the end of the game, so a lot of rain. The Packers couldn't get anything going offensively, so this one lost. Final score was at 24-14. Then what I think was the worst beat was the Colts +6. The Colts played a good game. They questionably should have won this game. They were up 7-0 at halftime. Then they get beat 21-6 in the second half. Joe Flacco, 16 of 27, 0 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, and also a fumble. They definitely should have at least covered this game for us. I thought they played decently. With how much the Vikings screwed up in this game, they should have covered. So, anyway, that is the week. We go 5-4. Let's get on to Week 10 picks. First game, it's the Thursday night game. This is probably one of my top 3 bets of the week. It's Bengals, Ravens. I'm taking the over 52.5. AFC battle, prime time. Neither of these teams have a good defense, so this is just a hammer spot. Ravens had the number 1 ranked offense in the NFL, averaging 462 yards per game. Their games recently, they've scored 41, 30, 41, 24, 41 points in their last 5 games. The Bengals offense, they started off really slow this season, but they have scored 41, 17, and 21 in their last 3 games. Both of these defenses are horrible. They are ranked 19th and 25th overall. The Ravens' main problem is that they are ranked dead last in passing yards. They give up 291 yards per game. Joe Burrow and this very stout wide receiver core for the Bengals should be able to torch them through the air. And if either one of these teams does go down by 3 touchdowns, then the other team's going to be forced to throw the ball, which they'll be able to do because these teams don't play defense. So I do really like the over in this game, 52.5. Next game, looking at the Jets and the Cardinals, 2 teams we won money on last week. Now they play each other. I'm taking the Jets minus 105 on the money line. This is that mid-season run where the Jets are going to be really good. They're going to inspire false hope into their fan base, and then they're going to rip it all away at the end of the season when they don't make the playoffs. I've seen the script. It's already in. Just trust me. Like I said, both of these teams coming off of wins. Jets was probably the more impressive one, beating the Texans Thursday Night Football. The Cardinals beating the Bears. The Bears look horrible. These offenses are very similar, averaging 325 and 345 yards per game. Main difference is that the Jets' defense is ranked 6th, giving up just 314 yards per game. We saw how good they were against the Texans. They were able to get to C.J. Stroud a decent amount, stop the run game, and really force him to throw the ball. Cardinals defense ranked 27th overall, giving up 386 yards per game. Rodgers should be able to torch this Cardinals defense. They look decent in terms of offensive perspective wise for the Jets last week. I'm hoping things run it back this week and none of their players do anything stupid around the goal line. So if that happens, I think they can win. Minus 105 on the money line is a great great price. Definitely good, basically a pick 'em. Next game, Chiefs minus 8.5 versus the Broncos. I'm fading the Broncos for the rest of the season after their performance losing to the Ravens by 31 points. Now, side note, I'm making this video before the Chiefs have played the Bucks on Monday Night Football. So I'm assuming they won and they don't have any serious injuries. But if they lose, like if Travis Kelce goes down, if Patrick Mahomes goes down, I am not betting the Chiefs. I'm going to wait till that game actually happens to make sure their lineup is good. But for video purposes, I'm putting this out before that game happens. So just wanted to preface that real quick. These are two of the top three ranked defenses in the NFL. They're both giving up 303 yards per game. Clearly, the Chiefs have the big advantage on offense. You have Kelce, Hopkins, Worthy, Hunt in the backfield, Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback, Andy Reid is your head coach. Your play calling is great. On seemingly every single play you run, somebody is wide open just based on schemes you do. The Broncos just put up 10 points against the worst passing defense in the league. How are you going to score on this Chiefs defense, who is one of the best D lines, in their corner state or Carter cover has been really good to start the year? I think they're 7-0 or 8-0. This is a hammer spot. Chiefs minus 8.5. They're going to win this game by 20 plus. Next game. This don't make no sense. New York Giants. They're -5 at the Panthers. Give me the Panthers at +5. Give me the Panthers on the money line. Why is Daniel Jones favored on the road with this Giants team behind him? They are horrible. Panthers coming off a win against the Saints. They got momentum. They got everything going on. Give me the Panthers. This game is in Munich, Germany. So I don't even know if people know what football is there, like real football. It's going to be really ugly. Offenses are ranked 26th and 31st, averaging just 322 and 293 yards a game. I don't know what NFL executives thought the Giants and the Panthers going to Munich was a good idea, but I would have canceled this game right when Daniel Jones signed his contract extension. Immediately, no. Just no. This should not be played. The Giants have lost 4 games in a row. They've allowed a minimum of 26 points in 3 out of those 4 games and have only scored more than 20 points in 1 of those games. They can't score. They can't play defense. They don't have the home field environment. How are they going to be laying 5 points? This game might finish 10-7, legitimately, or like 6-3. Both of these teams suck. Give me the Panthers +5 in another country. Who knows what's going to happen here? Next game, Lions -3.5 at the Texans, also taking the over 48.5. Lions are coming off of a big win against the Packers. Texans coming off of a massive loss against the Jets on Thursday Night Football. I again struggle to see how this line is only 3.5. The Lions were just laying 4 at the Green Bay Packers. Currently, based on who is injured and healthy for these two teams, I think the Packers are the better opponent they would play, but I guess not. Texans are without Diggs for the rest of the season. Nico Collins is supposed to come off the IR for this game. Not 100% sure if he'd play. I'm assuming he doesn't play here. Even if the Texans lose this game, they go to 6-4. I don't think you have to rush Nico Collins back. You just want to finish the year a few games above 500 and make the playoffs healthy. There's no real need to rush Nico Collins back for this game. That being said, with or without Nico Collins, it doesn't matter who the Texans have at wide receiver because their offensive line is horrible. If you watch the Texans Jets game on Thursday Night Football last week, you saw their offensive line not being able to stop anybody. Literally no one. I wrote down here they couldn't stop a nursing home of full of retired old people. They got nothing going on. CJ Stroud drops back in the pocket. He's immediately pressured every single time. And then they also can't run the ball. So I don't get what they're doing here. Lions, they're unstoppable on offense recently. They've scored 42, 47, 31, 52, and 24 points in their last 5 games. And then arguably the 24 points probably should have and could have been more, but they didn't have to run up the score on the Packers. It was raining. They just decided to run the ball the entire final quarter and not score. So the Lions are going to score a lot. I do not think the Texans will be able to score a lot. But if they do, I took the over 48.5. The Lions are putting up a minimum 30 points here. It all just depends on if the Texans can make this game kind of close. So I'm taking the Lions, and I'm taking the over of 48.5. Next game we're looking at, it's the Vikings and the Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars plus 4.5. Based on what I saw between the Vikings and the Colts, I don't think the Vikings looked very good. The Colts just played horrible, horrible football. I think the Jags are playing better football recently. Their last two games have been close, close losses. And it was to the Eagles by, no, to the Packers by 3 points, and then to the Eagles by 5 points. Um, the Vikings struggled mightily against Joe Flacco and this Colts team. Their offense couldn't move the ball really against the Colts defense. I think Vikings only scored 21 points the entire game. I don't have much faith in Darnold. He's the only wide receiver he really has down the field. Option wise is Justin Jefferson. He's their entire offense. They just throw the ball to him, throw the ball to him, throw the ball to him. And then once they get in the red zone, it's like, all right, Jerome Addison, you get the ball. Oh, running back, here you go, have fun. Sam Darnold, 10-yard run, sure, why not? But I don't think they're going to be able to do that in Jacksonville. Jaguars have been playing better recently. I have more faith in Trevor Lawrence than I do Darnold right now. The Jags have scored a minimum of 23 points in their last three games. The Vikings have scored under 23 points 3 out of their last 4 games. So these teams are trending opposite directions in terms of offensive production. I think this one's going to be really close. Wouldn't mind a Jaguars money line bet sitting right around plus 175. So if you wanted to get the extra juice on there, you definitely could. But I will just be taking the Jaguars in the points plus 4.5. Next game. This one's interesting. I'm taking the Patriots plus 6.5 at the Bears. Bears have been struggling big time since their bye week. I'm not sure what they allowed their players to do, but it would appear as though they allowed them to do too much. They are 0-2. They've scored 9 and 15 points in their 2 games since. The Patriots team, they've won 2 weeks ago against the Jets, and they just lost a close overtime game by 3 points to the Titans. Both of these teams horrible on offense, ranked 31st and 26th, averaging just 320 and 288 yards per game. With how the Bears are scoring, or with how the Bears are not scoring right now, I don't think they're good enough. They're going to get enough points to actually cover this number. 7 points is a lot, a ton, especially with how the Cardinals just held them to 9 total points in a game, and they have the 25th ranked defense in the league. If you're only putting up 9 points against the Cardinals, what are you going to do against the Patriots? Patriots play slow. They eat a lot of clock. They own the time of possession. This is all done to protect their rookie quarterback, Drake May. The Bears have kind of let loose with Williams at QB at the beginning of the season. I thought they were keeping him in like a tight little shell. And then I don't know who told them, like, okay, Caleb, just go do your thing. But that's basically what they told him. So I like the Patriots scheme more. I think they're going to try to really win this game through not deceptiveness, but just tactic, control, good football. I don't think the Bears can do that. So give me the Patriots plus 6.5. Next game, final game. Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5 at the New Orleans Saints. Why is this number this small? I'm confused. Saints, they're looking like probably the worst team in football right now. They just lost to the Panthers. Not many teams can say that. So, yeah, that was bad. Derek Carr put Chris Olave in a coffin with a concussion, so he's out for this game. Falcons, they're coming off of a 6-point home win against the Cowboys. Atlanta has covered this minus 3.5 number in 4 out of their last 5 games. New Orleans Saints have lost 7 games in a row. Their season is done. I'm really confused how this number isn't minus 7. Even minus like 8.5, I think I'd still bet. The Saints team is horrible. Saints defense is ranked 28th. The Falcons are probably going to be able to score at a minimum 24-ish points. The only small concern for the Falcons is their leading wide receiver. Actually, Darnell Mooney might be their leading wide receiver in terms of yards. Their number one wide receiver option in Drake London is questionable for this game, but don't really think it matters with how bad the Saints defense is. It's just the next guy up for the Falcons here. I don't think the Falcons or the Saints will be able to score more than 17. Their offense is bad. They don't have anyone to throw it to now that Chris Olave is out. Give me the Falcons minus 3.5. I think they win this game by 10 plus. All right, that's going to do it for me and this video. Hopefully we have another good week in the NFL. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.